Killbox Studios. Yeah. What up? Pressure. Representing my homie, DJ Miss Hoodie. What's good? The girl get a grind on, man, for real. Check it. Queens in the building, stand up. Tell me, have you seen her? Who stepped in the arena? Miss Hoodie serving, he crossed the net like Serena. And everything she play is great, so let the haters hate. Virus to their database, scrambling their data rate. Plus I got your back like scoliosis. Pressure got the antidote, be careful of the dosage. The girl is everywhere, yup, every known geography. Plus she get a swerve on with zero toxicology. The hottest beat, Hoodie and Pressure in the building. Of course the competition's mad, we meant to hurt your feelings. We see through all the politics, the truth is so revealing. We underground as hell, you hear us banging on the ceiling. Queens representative, Arizona resident, call up a detective. Truth is in the evidence and evidently present is a force that makes you hesitant. Miss Hoodie's red light is on, destruction is imminent.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? It is your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie, getting at you guys on Sunday, March 10th, 2019. It's been a while since I have done a podcast. It's been about almost 2 months since I've been absent. So yeah, 3 things have went on. The first time I was gone, I had to take a lot of time editing like 2 podcasts that I had recorded, which they are still coming. The second part is I got extremely sick, which I haven't decided on when I wanted to talk about it. And the third thing was I was having some serious relationship problems. 2 out of those 3 things I will be talking about later on in the podcast. But what I really want to talk about in this episode was my Uber experiences I've had lately. So if you're new to my podcast, I drive Uber here and there. I don't do this full time. Thank goodness, because it can get a little bit out of hand when I'm allowing other people within my personal space just for a few bucks. Not all of them are bad, but in this case, it's an annoying story in this episode, which I think you will all enjoy, so stay tuned. Man, I needed to hear that jam. I just needed to hear something to bring me back from what happened last night. If you guys want to know who that was Nicole Ray's Make It Hot. Good jam. Alright, so last night. Well, it wasn't even last night. It was early this morning. Last night, I didn't drive Uber. I was so tired, and I just needed rest. So last night I stayed in. I was just completely wiped out. This morning, my man woke me up and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go. And this was like at 4 in the morning. And he's like, are you sure you want to go out? And I was like, yeah, because I didn't go out last night and it's going to be bugging me. I'm just going to lay here. I'm not going to go to sleep. So I should just go. And he was like, all right. So I got ready, prettied myself up just a little bit because even though it was 4 in the morning, it's dark outside, I didn't know how long I was going to be out or where in the valley I was going to be. And people might just be looking at me. So, just kind of wanted to, just look presentable. So, went out and I had to go get gas. I went and got gas and I was waiting for rides. This was my very first ride, and this was around 4:30 in the morning. Got a ride. I was happy about it because usually rides that early in the morning, like 4:30, meant an airport run. So I got excited because where I was at in the valley, it's kind of far to the airport. So the longer the ride, the bigger the fare. So I was like, cool, got onto the highway and got there in like 20 minutes. And that was a little disappointing also because it's like she's halfway to the airport. So that would mean shorter fare. But I was like, okay, you know what? That's fine. Whatever. It's still a little something to the airport. When I got there, it was a residence, which I expected. Picked up this chick and this guy. And they came up to the window and I rolled it down thinking that maybe they needed the trunk open or something. And she was like, oh, you picked us up earlier. Oh, okay. Well, we're going right back to the bar from where you picked us up. And I'm like, wrong bitch. I was not trying. And I was trying to explain to her that you're thinking of somebody else, but, you know, go ahead and hop in. But I realized it wasn't important. Whatever, they're going to some bar. But she was kind of talking to me like I knew exactly where I supposedly picked them up. So I was just following the navigation, like whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. Got to the bar, and usually people that are heavily intoxicated, they usually end up leaving their vehicles in the lot so they don't drive, which is very, very smart. So I was driving them back so he could pick up his car. We get there. We said our thank yous, goodbyes, whatever. So I ended the trip, meaning that I swiped the button saying that I have dropped them off. As soon as I was leaving, she's flagging me down, and I'm thinking maybe she forgot something in my car. I rolled down the window, and she's just like, I'm going somewhere else. And I'm like, and mind you, during their ride, I got another ride request that I had already accepted. So with that being said, I could not take this woman anywhere because first of all, I ended her ride. Second, I'm already on another ride automatically. And the guy was just like, are you kidding? Like, he was disappointed in this chick because she made him believe that she was going home with him. And he was looking at me like, don't go. Like, just leave her there, you know? And when he was telling me this, she jumped in my car and she was just like, yeah, she's taking me home. And this guy was like, all right, you know, and then he just like walks off to his car. And I'm looking at this chick in a rearview mirror like, what the hell are you doing? You know, like, I didn't say that I'd take you. And she was just like, oh my God, like, can't you just take me? And I'm just like, ma'am, I'm on another ride. I ended your ride. I cannot take you. And she's just like, oh, well, maybe it's on the way. And I'm like, no, I cannot take you. And she was just being so whiny and so bratty and also at the same time being a bitch. And I instantly wanted to call the other woman and tell her, is it okay, or not tell her, but ask her if it was okay if she had another passenger. But the thing that I was thinking about was I did not want a bad rating. That's because when you give Uber drivers a bad rating, the more bad ratings that we get, it does affect our profile as drivers, and we could actually be ineligible to drive for Uber. So, not saying that I have a bad record, but I've kept a great profile for 3 years with Uber. I was not gonna have it being fucked up by some chick because she made a mistake, and I will tell you her mistake. So I'm telling this lady, like, I don't think I can take you. You need to get another Uber. And she was like, oh my God, like, I just can't understand why. And I'm like, I'm on another ride. I completed your ride. So therefore, I am no longer responsible. Like, and she was like, oh my God, you know, and then she like goes onto her phone to look for another Uber. And she was like, I don't know why you just can't take me because this Uber driver is like 18 minutes away. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll drop your ass off at the gas station. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you. Like, you are so mean. Like, you're just going to leave me out here and it's cold and you're going to leave me in the dark. Like, that is so not right. And like, this is the same chick. Okay. She's telling me that it's unsafe when she just got done telling me she just met this guy at the bar. They met other people at the bar. They all went to like an after party with those people from the bar. And she almost went home with that guy that she met at the bar, talking about what I'm doing is unsafe. And when I brought that to her attention, she did not want to hear it. I'm like, you want to talk about unsafe? Let's talk about all the dumb shit that you just did this evening, and you told me without me even asking you what the hell your problem was. Oh my God. I drove her to that gas station that we seen up ahead, and she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're really going to do this to me. Like, she was just making it sound like I was the shitty one. Like, I was the one doing her dirty. And I explained to her over and over, I cannot take you home. And at this point, I was thinking, you know what? If the other person cancels, they cancel. They're the ones that will get the cancellation fee, and it will not go on my profile as a driver. It would suck, you know, because as soon as I accept a ride, I have loyalty to that rider, you know, to get there on time and to get them to their destination safely. So, you know, I didn't want to be reported or nothing, like, you know, like Uber calling me like, hey, what's going on? You know, we got a complaint. That's what was going through my mind. And it was this chick, I don't want to be mean, but she was a bitch. She was stupid as hell. And she's really flipping this shit around on me. So basically, she told me that she was not going to get out of my car unless I took her home. And I said, well, you're going to have to pay me. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, I'll do that, whatever. And I was like, fine. And then I just sped off, and she's like, oh my God, like, you know, just, and she's like, how much do I pay you? Her house was like just down the street, but I was like, you know what, for inconveniencing me, $10. And she's just like, okay. Oh, like, she's just like, thank you so much. And it's just like, oh my God, you're so stupid. Like, I was just so angry because I'm arguing with this chick for like 20 minutes trying to get her out of my car. And during the ride back to her house, the second rider, she texts me. She's just like, oh, well, the commute said that you were going to be here in like 15 minutes. It's 20 minutes now. She's like, what's going on? And I couldn't even text the person back because, first of all, I'm driving, it's not safe. Second is like, I'm arguing with this chick, and I just wanted her out of my car as quickly as possible. So And this is what's so stupid. She don't even know where she lives because she was like putting her address like into her own phone, and it's like navigating me. It's like, and I told her, I said, you can direct me whichever way. And she has no fucking idea where the fuck she lives. So I'm listening to her navigation, and I got there and she was like, this is what pissed me off. She was like, how about $4? Because that's all I have. And I just held out my hand, and she's like, oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. And I'm just like, I can see why you pissed that guy off. Because you're probably promising him pussy, and you just bail the fuck out on him. And then this situation, like, oh, you're just really playing the victim here. Like, get the fuck out of my car. Like, I was just so mad. So she gets out, and I'm pissed. And I marked on the map exactly where I dropped her off. That way I could contact Uber and tell them, hey, she elongated her ride off the thing, off the app. So, you know what I'm saying? And when I sped off, I immediately called the other rider, and I told her, I am so sorry about the delay. I had a situation. I'm on my way now. And she's like, oh, when will you get here? And I looked on my app, and I said, it says you are 8 miles away. I will be there in 8 minutes. And she was like, oh, okay. And I kind of told her briefly, like, you know, this woman wouldn't get out of my car until I dropped her off. And, you know, it's just this whole big thing, but I'm on my way now. And she's just like, oh my goodness, like, oh yeah, you know, I thought maybe you got into an accident or something, you know, just as long as you're safe. And she was just very, very kind. And I said, oh yeah, I will be there in 8 minutes. So I was kind of speeding through construction. You know, of course, being very, very careful of pedestrians, if that early, whatever. And I got there, picked her up, and we just started talking about it. And she's just like, oh my God, that, you know, that woman's so crazy. And I said, right. But everything's cool now. You know, you don't have to worry about it. You know, I'll get you there on time. And when we got there, I told her, you know, I feel really, really bad about this. Allow me to contact Uber and see if they will weigh half of your bill just for the inconvenience. And she was like, oh, that would be like super, you know. And I told her, I said, okay, let me look on the details and let's see how much money you got that you spent on all of this. So she spent like $13. And I told her, I said, okay, you might get half of $13, but because Uber takes their fare, you know, their cut, they may only refund what I made. So when I looked on there, I only made like $8 and some change. And I said, so if they refund half of that, you're only going to get back like $4 and some change. And she's like, oh no, that's okay, you know. And this whole situation was so difficult during that. Like, I just wanted to I just wanted to kick her ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I should have, like, when I was explaining all this to my man, he was like, you know what? You should have called the cops. They would have got her out of your car and they would have gave her a ride home, because you really are not obligated for her, because you did take her to where she wanted to go, and she's the one that stepped out of your car. It would have been completely different if she stayed in the car and you just kept it going. And I said, right, I don't feel wrong in this, you know? And I don't fall for anybody trying to make me feel shitty, for one. And that's exactly what she was doing. Like, she was like, oh, you're so mean. You're just going to leave me out in the cold and in the dark. And, you know, I don't see why you can't just take me home. And it's like, bitch, you need to fucking pay me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I kind of made a promise to go pick somebody else up, and they're not going to pay for your ride home. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, and this chick, she was just, you know, partly intoxicated. I mean, we're talking like 4:30 in the morning. And they smelled heavily of liquor, and it was just, oh my gosh, like, I just could not believe at how fucking stupid this bitch is, and the trouble, the time, all that she has cost me. Yeah, I just hope I do not run into that chick again, because honestly, like, I would cancel the ride even though it would be on my profile. I'd be like, fuck that. Like, I will have, oh my gosh. And the other day, the reason why it's like bothering me as far as how it looks on my profile, 3 days ago, I did a ride, and this was so ridiculous. This is like another Uber story, just very, very quickly. I was in Gilbert, and I had a request that was in Queen Creek. Now, if you guys look at the Arizona map, you guys will see that Gilbert is 20 minutes away going into Queen Creek. So I'm driving 22 minutes from Gilbert to Queen Creek. I fucking get there, right? Pick this guy up. He was cool, you know, whatever. You know, he was a child. He was like 21. That's a child to me. And drove him down the street. Down the street. He could have woke up his neighbors. He could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just could have. He could have rode a bike. And that fare was only $5. I drove 22 minutes for $5 fucking. That got me so mad. And when I dropped him off, I had another ride request during his ride. It was at the same bar. So I waited, you know, and Uber, they calculate the time for you as far as like how long a driver should wait for a rider, and total 3 minutes. Okay. And the thing popped up, you know, you can either cancel the ride or you can call the person. I text the person saying, hey, I am here. I'm in the lot waiting. Did not get a response. So I waited another minute. So we're kind of going on to 5 minutes at this point. Hey, Uber popped up the cancel button because I wasn't looking for it. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe I can cancel. It won't interfere with my rating. So what did I do? I canceled the ride, and I looked on my profile, and I fucking died. 3 years I've been driving for Uber. That was my first cancellation. I was pissed. I was like, fuck this shit. I turned off my Uber app. I drove, oh my God, I spit out of that fucking lot. I drove so fast down the street out of anger and madness. Like, I was so upset. Almost crying, to be honest. And I drove to the nearest gas station to take a piss. And I know some people be like, oh my God, you're being so dramatic. But honestly, like, that's an achievement if you look at it from my point. You know, I got nothing going on in my life. And that was just something that was out of my out of my everyday life, something to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? And because of someone's drunk ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably requested the Uber and they're probably just laying in the bar, just dead drunk over the bar stool. And it's like, because of that, of you not coming out or not even texting me back or saying, hey, like, we're coming, we're on our way, like, just inconveniencing me. And because of your drunk ass, because of you, I got a bad fucking rating. Like, I got that shit on my shit. Your mistake fucking shows on my shit. That's what got me so angry. I was so pissed. And I mean, it's just the little things. Yeah, they do like tick me off. But like I said, it was an achievement. It's like, damn, I've been driving 3 years for Uber and I have never canceled a ride. And that was kind of a bad night to begin with anyway. I mean, driving 22 fucking minutes for $5? Really? You know, like, and see, Uber, they supposedly charge for long distance fees. But it's only like $2 and some change. Like, no, I would say a driver that is going to be driving, let's say, longer than, I would say 10 miles, they should be fucking charged for that shit. And the whole amount should go to the driver, not Uber. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what kind of gives me false hope about Uber, because I just don't really feel like it's fair. And there's another short story where I picked up another Uber driver, and he's been with Uber for like 3 years, and he's done like over 20,000 rides, which is fucking amazing, because I don't think I could ever do that. That's not my dream. That's not my passion. But we were kind of swapping stories as far as, like, you know, our worst trips ever and what we think Uber should do to improve what happened, you know, like just a little bit extra for the drivers. But we just kind of came up with, and I'm pretty sure anybody that's listening to this right now is going to get, I'm sure, like, get excited, especially like if you're a driver. Like, you would be like, oh yeah, like that's something that would be very, very useful. But, and I'm sure, I think he mentioned that he already submitted that idea to Uber, and I think it's so awesome. But he said that the problems that he and I have experienced was that heavy, angry drunks giving us bad ratings just because, let's say, they got kicked out of the bar, or they just got dumped at the bar, and they're getting into our rides and they're pissed. They're like so angry, they're so frustrated and agitated that when we ask them questions, or, you know, we're trying to be courteous, they just end up bitching us out, like telling us to shut the fuck up, you know, things like that. And when they leave out of our vehicle, they're giving us a bad rating. So, you know, because of, I would say 4 people, because I'm able to see who gave me 4 stars and 2 stars. So for me, I'm thinking like, okay, those are probably the people that I've dealt with that were heavy intoxicated and have bitched me out. And I can honestly tell you that I got bitched out at least 3 times. So 3 out of 4, you know, 2 stars, 4 stars. So I'm thinking like, okay, those are the people that gave me the bad rating. So what he mentioned was that people that, let's say, you know, because Uber is tracking like the starting point of your trip. So if you put in that you were at the pub, which is a bar, that if you're being picked up from the bar, Uber's app on the rider's side, not us drivers, but the riders, they should complete like an alcohol test before giving us a rating. You know what I'm saying? So that they'll be unable to give us a bad rating. But the thing that I explained to him was that, well, it would still just be easy for them to, you know, because when they get home, they're probably not going to want to rate until they wake up the next day with a fucking hangover. They're still mad, you know, they have a hangover, they're pissed still, and they're still going to give us a bad fucking rating because they're at home, you know. And he was like, yeah, but, you know, I think for the most part, I think it would really, 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 really help. And I was like, well, yeah, you know, who wants to be bitched at and then get a bad rating just because they're having a bad night, you know? So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I totally support that. So Uber, if you are listening, yes, that's something that we need. And also Uber, let me tell you guys, let me tell Uber and let me tell you guys, I have reported the whole incident that happened this morning, you know, with the chick that, I'm not getting out of your car until you take me home. Like, okay, when I reported that incident, the guy said, okay, we'll fix it. You know, you gave us the address of where she lives, and we are going to, you know, we're going to change the fare. When I was having breakfast with my man, I looked on the app. You want to know what Uber did? I was so obsessed. Was I obsessed? I was so upset that Uber sent me a message saying that they, you know, adjusted that situation as far as like the pay. I got $6 from that ride, you know, from wherever I picked them up to that bar where the guy was gonna pick up his vehicle. It was $6 and some change. Hold on a second. I'm trying to, come on now. Yes, I'm looking on the app. I'm so sorry. I should kind of be prepared, but I didn't think of it till like right now. All right, so okay. Or no. This was so stupid. Oh my god. That's what got me really, really upset, because I'm like, you guys really, where are my messages? Right here. Okay, this was so stupid. It got adjusted. Okay, the ride the first time was $6.32. And it says a fare from 310 was adjusted from $6.32 to $5.17. That's what fucking pissed me off. It really did. Because she elongated the ride. She elongated it, so why are you deducting from me? You should be adding on in the first place. So I don't know if it's this guy from Uber that I was talking to over the phone, Uber support. I don't know if he misunderstood, which I hope not, because it's wrong. But anyway, that's what happened. I was super mad. I was super pissed. And I better not come across that woman again. And what's crazy is I actually know where she lives. So, you know, not saying, not threatening, but can you imagine that somebody doing that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's happened before. I'm so fucking sure. But like, she's lucky that I'm not that kind of person. But it's just kind of like, because of how you are as a person, ticking people off, like just for your selfish, dumb fucking choices and decisions, hell yeah, I could see someone doing that to you, and you probably deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't feel bad. She's talking about, oh my god, like, I just didn't feel safe. But it's like, you've been with that dude all fucking night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That was for you to run off and go to somebody else. And come on, like, if you guys left in a group and you guys just all just met, like, how is it that you feel safe with a group? They could have been setting you up or something. You know, that's something that I think about. I don't mean to be negative, but shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying? And people are just, they're not thinking, you know, and that's why I feel like if you're going out, limit yourself to 2 fucking drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and make it a rule not to go out with anybody. You know, and that guy was very good looking. He was a good looking redhead. He was a cool dude. You know, maybe something happened throughout the night that she just finally made that decision, like, oh, you know what, I don't really want to go. You know, like, I can understand, but that was still a dumbass move that you did, and you're costing other people's time. Like, you wasted his time. Like I said, you probably promised him pussy and he was like thinking he was gonna get it in, and then you're just you chickened out, you wimped out, like, you just, oh my god. And I could see and feel the frustration of this guy, because he was like, what the heck, you know, I thought we really connected, and it may not even be pussy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably just really only wanted to chill. I mean, you don't really fucking know that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you just wanted, like, just to hang for a few hours and then just, like, call it quits or whatever. Like, I kind of get that, you know? Like, I was in a situation where I was like that. Like, it's like, yeah, I can chill and, you know, date, whatever, but it's just kind of like, oh, you know what? Like, I think I might actually want to go home. And this is me not intoxicated. Like, for me, it's like, yeah, you know, you seem like a cool dude. Yeah, I hang with you again. And yeah, maybe I, like, go home with you, whatever, and just, like, chill. And when it finally came around to that, like, first of all, yeah, you can get tired. You can get tired. Like, honestly, you can get tired. Maybe she got tired. Second, what I feel is like, oh, you know what, like, yeah, you were really cool at first, but then it started to die down a little bit, and it's just like, I don't want to do this right now, you know, like, because I can get like that. So when she was explaining it to me, I was like, yeah, sure, but you're still in my car. Like, bitch, I get what you're saying, but I'm done driving you. You know what I'm saying? So that was a situation. And there's another Uber story that I have, but maybe I will go ahead and record that after this one, because this one is, honestly, I just want to get all these podcasts up. I've just been out of it, you know. Like I mentioned the first time, or not the first time, but in the beginning of this podcast, sort of explaining where I've been. Yeah, I got very, very ill, and I know this is gonna be too much information. Women will understand, but guys won't. They're just gonna be like, ew, you know, that's fucking disgusting, or oh, you're a dirty bitch, you know, what the fuck ever. We're women, it happens. And if you are a guy and if you know nothing of this, you do not know women. And it's probably because you don't get it in as often, or maybe you're just shitty at relationships. You know, maybe you only just date, which is fine, but what I'm getting at is that you do not know women, and you probably shouldn't fuck around with women if you are saying how disgusting we are. Get that in your head. But my sickness, I had a really, really bad UTI. Really bad. It was so bad that it was causing me so much severe pain that I was in a hospital for about a week. Antibiotics and, what makes UTIs a lot more severe is especially when you are diabetic, and I am diabetic. So because my blood sugar was very, very high due to the pain, it wasn't me lacking exercise, it wasn't me lacking diet, it was because of the pain. Pain will shoot up your sugar, it will give you high blood pressure, but in my case, I had low blood pressure, and they didn't want to release me from the hospital because of that, and it was because of all the medicines and things like that. So they wanted me to get balanced on everything before they could release me. So I'm very appreciative for all the nurses and doctors for that. But yeah, it was really bad. It was so painful. I couldn't even sit up. Adjusting in the bed was very, very hard. But I'm all better now. I just have to make a appointment to see the down there lady doctor. And once she checks me out, she'll I'm sure she'll tell me like when it's safe to have sex again. So but yeah, like that isn't even in my interest. Like I don't even care about that shit, because when I was in pain, I was like, no. Like, and this is what's so funny, was that I was in this community on one of these apps that I'm a part of, and there was this guy who was like posting like those very explicit GIF pics. And if you guys don't know what GIF pics are, they're moving moving pictures, just little like 2-second like movie clips of porn. And it was like this guy like just really ramming the chick, in the pussy and shit. And normally I'd watch it. I'd be like, oh shit, hey, but when I was watching these like the guy eating her out, and she's like being jackhammered and shit, and that shit looks good, you watch their face expressions or whatever. In my when I seen it, I was like ow. Like I was just, I'm feeling pain, and I'm looking at this shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I can't right now. And my man was like, what, like what are you looking at? Because he would like watch my face expressions, and I'm just like, oh my god, ow, I can't even look at this shit. And I showed him what I saw, and he was just laughing so hard. Like, he's like, oh my gosh. And he's like, none of that, huh? And I said, no, not right now. Like, I don't think ever. So I just, But yeah, that's not on my mind. And my man understands, like he knows. And I told him, I said, don't be mad at me if I want to wait days or weeks or maybe even months. And he's like, no, I understand, it's fine. So I'm like, okay, it better be fine, because if you decide you don't want to be with me anymore because of that, then fucking let me know. Don't just go cheating on me. So but yeah, so I had a really bad UTI, and I'm all better from that shit now. And let's see, the second part, what did I say the second part was? Oh my gosh, where's my notes? Oh, very briefly, I don't even know if I want to make a podcast about it though. I'll just put it in here just very, very quickly. Yeah, I was kind of having like relationship problems. And, you know, me, I'm not the type of person that really airs out my problems. Like, yeah, I write about them, which you can find at audreyalcuenva.com/blog. You'll find actually 2 written blogs about it. It doesn't go into detail, not too much. It's just all about connecting and communicating. And those things are very, very important in a relationship, especially in our case, because I'm very sensitive. You know, I hate to say it, but little things do make me cry. Like if you sat and watched Dumbo with me, I'm going to cry. If you are sitting with me to watch The Fox and the Hound, I'm going to cry, okay? And if you can't hang, then peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will not befriend insensitive people that have no compassion. So, that's my man. And because he's, you know, we live very different lifestyles. So what makes me cry will not make him cry. So for me, I'm thinking, oh, you're so insensitive. You're this and you're that. Like, how could I be with you? I'm so full of love and you're not. I'm trying to give you happiness and you don't want it. So yeah, it just really got out of hand. And, you know, I've told him that he was the only person that I've had a relationship with that I've actually screamed at the top of my fucking lungs during an argument. And I know I'm a strong person. I could walk away from any relationship. And this one, I've tried walking away from it so many times, but because we've known each other for 16 years, you know, we've known each other since we were teenagers. I don't want to say he keeps throwing that in my face, but he says that during that time that we weren't talking, like we wouldn't talk for years, but he says that he's always loved me and that when he was in relationships, I was always on his mind. Like, he always wanted to be with me. And because he finally has me, he doesn't want to let me go. But for me, I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that type of person that once I make up my mind is made up. And you will not treat me this way. So that was a very, very hard thing for us to go through. But, you know, that happened over a week ago. And now we're good. You know, we're starting to really talk about things. And I told him, I said, you know what? You're going to have to. Like, I'm not saying cry with me watching Dumbo, but it's like, show me something, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm just seeing this cold person and I feel like you look at me like I'm just weak or something, when I feel like it's more strength than anything, you know, because there's some people that can't cry about shit and they just get so angry and you know, hard on the inside. And I just don't think that that's healthy, you know. And you know, I don't want to mold him either. You know, like, I don't want to be like those chicks that try to mold their man into how they want. But for me, it's kind of like, you have to understand that I'm this person. And if you really, really love me and you want to be with me, like you say, for the rest of your life, then this is what you're going to get. This is who I am. And I love myself. I'll never allow myself to be disrespected, even by you. You know, we both get the picture. Like, I'm not saying it's all him, but like, to get my emotions a little under control, like I can kind of see his points on things. So we're both trying to just make positive changes and just kind of look out for each other. And, you know, it was hard. It was hard in the beginning. Would I ever make a podcast about that? Probably not. And if I did, it would be when he's really out of my life. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, like, you know, it's kind of cliche to say like, oh, we're happy. And, you know, for me, I wouldn't believe it either. But I would just say that we're okay. Like, we're doing all right. I'm happy as far as talking more, communicating more. It's less stressful. And there's a lot of positive plans that we're making as far as like, you know, like working together and things like that with my business, which he wants to get into. And at first I kind of questioned it, you know, because I'm thinking like, okay, I don't want you to think that I'm putting you to work. Like, I want you to want to help me with certain projects. So he says that he is, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So, yeah, and we're getting there every single day. You know, we're not so lovey-dovey or anything. Like, we're just going. We're just living, and everything's cool, you know. And I'm happy where we're at, and I just want things to get better. And that is it for this podcast. I'd like to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I do apologize for the almost 2-month delay. Oh my gosh. And I'll try to not let it happen again, but you know, life does happen. Life goes on even if there's no why run, you know. And yeah, I have a lot more topics that I would love to talk about. I've been jotting them down while on these Uber rides. And yeah, a lot more content coming. So I hope you guys will be all into that. So don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to check out my website, audreyalcuenva.com. And I will soon be putting up vlogs of my day-to-day life, so you guys may see bits and parts of a recorded podcast. You will see me and my partner making furniture or doing my artwork, traveling. We go to events. So if you guys want to see that, there's going to be one free video. I think it's 2 free videos a month. But the rest of them, yes, you're going to have to pay for like a monthly subscription. There are some that you can purchase individually. But if you're curious to know the monthly subscription, those are $60 a month. Why is it so much? You guys are helping me out. And if you guys want to know what you're helping me out with, you're helping me out with putting gas in my car, feeding my dog and my cat, website hosting, podcast hosting, materials for upcoming podcasts, or upcoming projects, excuse me. But either way, you guys are going to see where your funds are going, because you are not, and I guarantee you that you are not going to be paying for vacations or $1,000 Fendi purse or anything. Like, I do not flex, okay? So for me, when I subscribe to an artist or something, I too like to know where my money is going, knowing and seeing that I'm actually helping with something. So if you guys do participate in this, you guys' names and the amount of how much you have helped me with is going to be promoted on my website, audreyalcuenva.com, and I will shout you out in a video, and any suggestions on upcoming projects, you guys will also be mentioned. And yeah, I just want to give back also in that way, to show you guys how appreciative we are for you guys' interest in our content. So I want to thank you guys in advance. If you guys would like to see videos, it's going to be there. And I hope you guys enjoy it, just like how you guys are listening to this podcast. So, alrighty, you guys have a beautiful day. You guys be safe. And yeah, until next time, peace.